Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the Nashville Stars franchise. Now, this season has definitely looked different, and we start this season by kind of looking back on a past trade. Matt Leiter was acquired from the Texas Rangers. We ended up trading Matthew Thompson, who was our minor league pitcher of the year, and they're having pretty comparable careers. I mean, last year's numbers are actually like the exact same, which is very, very funny. And then Ryan Mountcastle was an all-star traded in that trade. He ended up being an all-star for the Rangers, and so far this year, he's off to a very, very hot start. 316, slugging at 579 with a 945 OPS. Maybe he just needed a change of scenery. He is their starting left fielder, not at first base, not at third, in left field. He's hitting 316, 945 OPS, in 38 at-bats. He is having an excellent, excellent season. We will take on Matthew Thompson. I just want to play this game a little bit. This is at the beginning of April. I just want to see what it's like to face our former guy who probably would have been at the MLB level right now. He probably would have been in the rotation last year if we would have kept him around. So he will face this very, very tough lineup who is off to an excellent start this year. You already know Kerry Doss, Willy Adames. This is a high pitch in the zone. This one's driven deep to left field, but it just hangs up there. And I think that they're very, very comparable pitchers. They had very, very similar ratings when I traded for them. I think I wanted Jack Leiter mostly because A, he was A potential, and B, obviously bringing him back to Nashville was an awesome story for this series. Hopefully he can really blossom into something. We will see what he can do later in this episode. But you can see Matthew Thompson, he is absolutely blanking the Nashville Stars here on the road as he faces Rafael Devers this time. That's a low pitch, and that one will be a walk. Taylor Trammell, who was hitting the ball really, really well this year, that one will just be a chopper to first. And Matthew Thompson is shutting down our lineup so far. Jesus Aguilar up now in the bottom of the seventh inning with one out, and Thompson isn't giving up anything. This is a deep fly ball to right field, but stays in the yard. Matthew Thompson is looking very, very good. As here he faces Kurt Zambrano, and Zambrano cannot keep up. 7 scoreless innings for the former Nashville Star prospect. As that will bring up Colin Ozuna, who starts in center field today for James Wood, who is actually just struggling so far. Last episode we left off when James Wood was 0 for 20 to start his season. John Dumont to the plate, hitting in that 9 spot still, in a weak ground ball back to the pitcher. Could have been 2, but they elect to go to first base with that one. Willy Adames to the plate. He hits one well to right field. This one's got a lot of carry on it, and that one will get to the wall and bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. And that one will be the end of Matthew Thompson's day. You know, I got to say, a little reservation in letting him go. I think that was a big piece. But in order to get a big piece, we had to give up a big piece. Here's Kerry Doss to the plate. Now, runner on second. One out with a chance to tie this ball game up. He swings at one out of the zone. He gets fooled on the slider that time, and that will be a ground ball back to the pitcher. Rafael Devers at the plate now with 2 outs, and he cannot do anything as well. They bring in a lefty, and Devers cannot do anything there. On to the 9th inning now. This is going to be Jesus Aguilar at the plate now with 2 outs. Can he keep this game alive? He hits one well to the right side. That one will get to the right center gap. Jesus Aguilar is going to make it to second. He probably should have made it to third, but we already know about his speed. And now we have a runner in scoring position. We are not keeping him on second, that's for sure. We will go to our bench, bring in Jimmy Sandoval, who is a guy that's been in our organization the last 2 years, and now he has made the MLB roster as a bench guy. Bringing up Kurt Zambrano, who cannot catch up to the high fastball. That one will be game over here for the Rangers. They will win this one on the road in Nashville 2-1 as Matthew Thompson gets the win versus his former team. That definitely had to feel good for him facing his former organization for the first time. So we have a lot of situations coming up in this episode. We are going to get through the month of April, and we continue this Texas series now in a 9-7 game as Willy Adames with a 15-game hitting streak. But that is going to come to an end today as he flies out to center field. And Texas will come into our house and win 2 straight games. This one they win 10-7. And it looks like Texas may have a nice little road trip right here. We play them the next 2 games in a 4-game set. We end up losing that third, and we end up winning to avoid the sweep. And now we get to the heart of April, where we take on the Detroit Tigers. We end up winning 2 of 3. We take on the Milwaukee Brewers. And now in a situation where Pablo Moya has an opportunity for a save. And we'll see what he can do versus a Milwaukee team who lost a ton of guys when they were rebuilding. And remember last year in free agency, they had all of their starters, all 4 hit free agency. Now Hamlet Marte to the plate. One of their young prospects will hit a hard ground ball to short. And that one will be a double play to end this game. Pablo Moya gets the save in this one. Remember, Pablo Moya is 67 overall. I am surprised that he has not got a potential boost at all. Now, he was our minor league pitcher of the year in season 1. Just remember that. He was back then. He is still only 67 overall, but he is a pretty good closer. He has not blown a save yet this year. So we move to the back end of April, and now we face another situation now in the bottom of the 9th inning at home versus the Tampa Bay Rays, one of our division rivals. And we are competing this year in the division. We have to win these games. Here is Devers at the plate now with 2 outs. He goes to opposite field. That one will be a single here in the 9th. So now we have a runner aboard here. 2 outs. That brings up the middle of our lineup. Jesus Aguilar comes to the plate. He works a 0-2 count to 2-2. Now 3-2 up in the zone. And now the 3-2 pitch is on. Runner will be on the move here with 2 outs. Inside slider. And he works all the way back from an 0-2 count and ends up getting aboard. Dom Thompson Williams, who has been one of the channel favorites, at least the series favorite here in this series. He comes up and he's hitting in that 5 spot. Last year he was hitting leadoff, and he has a chance to be the hero here. The first pitch he sees will be crushed deep to center field. This one's back, and it's gone off of the batter's eye. A walk-off 3-run home run for Dom Thompson Williams, coming over from Seattle a couple of seasons ago. Wow, the Seattle outfielders are contributing well. Taylor Trammell is a full-time starter now. Dom Thompson Williams a full-time starter now. And this is what we've done. We've found players that have really been forgotten about, because Dom Thompson Williams would have been forgotten about in that Seattle Mariners rotation. But he has ended up being a starter for us. A walk-off 5-2. As we move on to the next Tampa Bay game. And they are once again here at home in Nashville. And we will see if our Nashville Stars can win another divisional game. We're down 3-2 here late in the game. We end up changing pitchers here to get us out of a tough situation. But once again, another close game. And we move to the bottom of the 9th inning. The other Seattle outfielder up to the plate, Taylor Trammell. Can he be the hero today? He can only just tie this ball game up, but at least getting on base will do some damage. 1-2 pitch, inside slider, and look at what Trammell does with it. He just goes straight up the box. I love Taylor Trammell. He has an interesting arm in the outfield. His accuracy is very, very good, but not high arm strength. but he has been an excellent contributor to this team. We do walk Jorge Alfaro, and once again it brings up Dom Thompson-Williams. Could he be the hero in back-to-back games here in the bottom of the ninth inning? This is going to be a low pitch sinker. A little anxious on that pitch, 3-2, and he will walk. Bases loaded with Kerry Doss, AL Rookie of the Year a season ago, coming to the plate. He is 2 for 4 today, a home run and a single, hitting 4 of 12 in the series, 333. Facing Peter Fairbanks, their closer. He gets a pitch right over the middle, and he absolutely grooves it. But it's going to be foul. Wow, that pitch was just missed, and Kerry Doss misses the next one. Strike 3. Willy Adames to the plate now with 2 outs. We'll see if he can be the hero. Low pitch, and it's just a ground ball to their top prospect, or I guess top player on their team now, in Wander Franco. And that one will be the ball game here as the Rays come into our house, and they will win 3-2. A gutsy performance there by the Rays, hanging on with bases loaded, 1 out in the bottom of the ninth. We come to kind of the last 2 weeks of the schedule, and I look at who is doing terrible, and James Wood, I don't know what's going on with him. Remember how well he was doing when we acquired him from the Padres at AAA, and it just has not worked out. We're going to move him down and move Jacob McCarthy up, because I would rather have a bat there than a guy that, even if he's good defensively, is not doing anything offensively. It's kind of that Victor Robles situation that we had a year ago where he didn't even play at the MLB level, but he was so terrible on offense that he just didn't have value to us anymore. So now we check out the opposite side of that Texas Rangers trade in Jack Leiter. He is 4-0 to start this season. He goes for win number 5 today. He faces Tim Anderson, who leads off this game with a hit down the third base line. And a lot of teams are starting to look different here in this series, especially guys like Tim Anderson on the Houston Astros. Jose Altuve is still on the Astros, though. He walks, and now that brings up Yordan Alvarez, who is an MLB The Show killer, and that one will be a low fastball. Strike 3 called, 1 out. Eloy Jimenez, who signed with the Astros in the offseason. This one will be a chopper to first, throw on to second, and it will be a 3-6-3 double play. And Jack Leiter gets out of that jam right there. Jacob McCarthy up to the plate for his first at-bat as we face the 12-10 Astros. They are 4th in the AL West right now. We are tied for 1st in the AL East. And McCarthy cannot connect on this pitch. I do think he's going to be a pretty good bench bat, but we'll see what he can turn into. Jack Leiter here in the top of the 4th inning gives up a single to center field, and now the Houston Astros will take the 2-1 lead. Still in the 4th inning. Here's a slider on the outside half, and that one will be strike 3. Leiter has some good stuff. I just think that now, he's 80 overall. He's definitely coming into his own. On to the bottom of the 6th inning. Now we're up 3-2. Here's Taylor Trammell walking. He is so good at getting on base, good at drawing walks. That brings up Jacob McCarthy now with his first chance to bring in a run here this season. He gets one over the middle of the zone. That one's hit well to right center. It will score 1. It will score 2. We will send the runner. And how about Jacob McCarthy coming through in his debut at the MLB level and really doing what James Wood honestly couldn't. Tucker Barnhart up in the 9th inning facing Pablo Moya, who has yet to blow a save this year, but he gets a nice hit to the gap. And now they have a runner on second base. Maybe a chance to tie this ball game up, even go ahead with a 2-run home run, bringing up Tim Anderson. Look at this pitch. Supposed to be located low and inside, and Pablo Moya misses, and he gets lucky. Tim Anderson just hits a fly ball to right field. Dom Thompson-Williams is under that one. But we absolutely get lucky that Tim Anderson did not hit that a mile. And we end up getting the victory. This Nashville Stars team is very, very interesting. We have good offensive games. We have good pitching outings. We kind of win pretty much any way possible. But our offense has really, really been the big difference this year. Remember, last year we finished 5th in ERA. And this year so far, we are top 5 still in ERA, despite the low overalls in the rotation. I love what our young guys are doing. Kendrick Franklin Cole to the plate now in the next game. This one will be the bottom of the 9th. And a ground ball into a tag. That one will just be scored a 5-3 double play. And now we move on to extras, and we end up quick managing it, and we end up getting the win. So 2 nice victories here versus the Houston Astros. We win this one 7-6. These are the games that honestly were swing games last year. We couldn't win them at all. But you can just see at the end of the month, we start to streak a little bit. We win 6 straight games, or at least 7 straight games from April 12th to April 19th. We lose one in Tampa Bay, but then we win 4 straight. Then at the end of the season, we actually win 2 of 3 versus Texas. This time we win at Texas. So we got swept earlier in the month by Texas at home, and then we ended up winning 2 of 3 on the road. The month of May is kind of a tougher month because we play the Phillies, the Blue Jays, the Angels at the end of the month. And we will see what that tough stretch of games actually yields. But look at us. We end up sweeping the Houston Astros on the road. A very good stretch of games right there. And it starts us out right this season. We are 4th in batting average. Willy Adames is absolutely tearing the cover off the baseball. We have, I believe, 4 guys hitting over 300. We are 7th in home runs. Adames has 12, which is tied for the MLB lead. Jared Kelenic has 12 for the Seattle Mariners. I bring that up because, remember, there are so many outfielders that the Seattle Mariners have. I don't even know how they're making room for them. And then we are 3rd in ERA once again. Remember, at one point last year, we were 1st in ERA. This year, we are 3rd in ERA. That is incredible. Willy Adames has really given us that boost. And you can just see he still has an OPS over 1,100 and absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. I think it's time to give Jimmy Sandoval some playing time. I don't know what his potential is. I believe it is at 71. It's a C at 71. But I think that right now, second base is that one position that has been pretty unsteady. Kerry Doss is hitting the ball well. Rafael Devers is hitting the ball well also. I mean, all of our top at least 5 guys in the lineup are hitting the ball extremely well. We even have a very good bench bat in Buda Bless. I mean, he's hitting 353, 882 OPS, which is excellent for a guy coming off the bench. Taylor Trammell is hitting 252. Obviously, with those RBIs, he is driving in runs. He's hitting pretty well. Shea Wickham is doing Shea Wickham things. He doesn't hit for power at all. He just gets all singles, which is very interesting. Dom Thompson-Williams, his average is down to 248. I'm sure that's not going to stay much longer. Jacob McCarthy has contributed a little bit in his short time. Kurt Zambrano, though, and Jorge Alfaro are struggling behind the plate, but they are getting on base at quite a good clip. But John Dumont is not doing well again, which really gives me concern because we have KFC, we have John Dumont. I mean, those guys are just not doing well. We'll have to see, what we can do to kind of help their development along. Looking at our pitchers, like I said, we're 3rd in ERA. We are doing really, really well. How about Kohei Arihara? 2.13 ERA on 106 WHIP. He just continues to be a great contributor to the rotation. One guy I want to note here is Kaprelian. One of you guys pointed out in the comment section last video that maybe Kaprelian is a guy that we should move on from. Only time will tell, to be honest with you. We'll have to see if we can have a good replacement there. But Pablo Moya is having the best year of his career so far. 12 saves, 0 blown saves. And he is off to an excellent start. .97 whip, below a 1.5 ERA. So I decide to give Jimmy Sandoval a start versus right-handed hitters or right-handed pitchers. He's going to hit last. He can run the bases. I'm excited to see what he can do at second base because we definitely need a push there. So next episode, we will get all the way to the draft. We will not start the draft, but we will get to June 1st at least. And I want to check out Troy Quincy to start next episode. This is a big series versus Seattle Mariners. I've been talking about them a lot because they have an influx of outfielders. They had the minor leaguer of the year last year, Jarred Kelenic, Kyle Lewis, so many pieces. And we will see if we can get it done here on the road. And we will see what's wrong with Troy Quincy. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.